So why is it important to always be improving your business if you have a company, doing business development, expanding, or even if you're an employee, a private consumer, why is it important always to be adding to your net worth, adding to your wealth, adding to your income? These are crucial. These aren't just a nicety or a nice kind of thing. And the reason why is because whether you know it or not, and hidden behind the scenes, you are always getting more broke. Business, personal, family, you're always getting more broke. And what does that mean? Let's take a look. Don't forget to put comments below, your questions. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you don't like what we're saying. Tell us if you have arguments against it, if you have disputes about it. We want to hear it. We want to know what you think about these ideas. So, how are you getting more broke? Well, if you're a company, if you're standing still doing nothing, there's competitors out there. They may be direct competitors that are doing the same business as you, always trying to get better. They may be indirect competitors in the form of other types of businesses or other solutions that your clients might use instead of you. Maybe not even the same product, maybe something else that does the same thing your company does. What if you're a consumer, if you're private citizen? How are you getting more broke every day? Well, every day your car is deteriorating. Your house needs maintenance. Your clothes need to be replaced. Inflation is going up. You may have more children in your household. Your children are going to need college someday. You're going to need to, maybe they get married. You have to give them money for their wedding. You're always getting more broke. There will always be more expenses next month than there was the month before. There may be a new monthly cost that comes out. Maybe your cell phone bill is going to go up because the rates get higher. Maybe the new phones cost more than the old phones. The next car that you buy is going to be more expensive than the last car you bought. So if you have a car payment that's $380, I guarantee your next car is going to be $450. If you have a house, every minute that your roof sits out there in the sun, it gets closer to needing replacement. And that replacement is going to be $20,000 or $30,000, maybe more. Now, you don't have to pay it this year or next year, but unless you're putting away $1,000 a year for 20 years, you're not going to have the money. You're going to have to take out a loan to get it. There's many examples of how you're getting more broke every day. So the only way to not get more broke is to add more income. If you stay static with your income, if you're a business, if you stay static with your revenue, you will find yourself broke one day that you didn't even realize it. That broke factor gradually builds up and it's hidden. It's kind of like rust behind the surface. You don't know it's happening until all of a sudden it shows up. And by that point, it's too late. That's when people say, well, I had to file bankruptcy because my transmission blew up. No, you filed bankruptcy because you didn't expect your transmission to blow up. Every transmission blows up someday. Well, my business went out because a competitor opened down the street. No, it blew up because you did not expect a challenge to your business. If you planned for best case scenario for your company or your family, the first day that it's not best case scenario, you're in trouble. In fact, you don't even have to plan for best case scenario. Many people plan for average case scenario. Average case scenario. And as soon as it's below average or there's a problem, then there's a problem. People file bankruptcy, they get late on their bills, they get evicted, they get foreclosed, they get repossessed. Companies have to lay people off, they have to downsize, they have to close locations. It can happen at any level. And the reason isn't that immediate visible thing you think is the reason. It's the series of events that happened before it that didn't anticipate that happening. We're not trying to be harsh. We're not blaming you. It happens to everybody. We're just trying to point out to be more visible about what you need. Everything that's in your house or your business is getting older and closer to being dead. Your big screen TV someday is going to die. Your computer is going to die. You need new clothes. You're going to need new mattresses. You need new gutters on your house. That's all going to cost money. And every year, little bits and pieces of that will happen, but you got to plan for the big things. Your company. Look, there's artificial intelligence coming out that's going to wipe out probably half the companies in this country within the next 20, 30 years. If you're not preparing for that and starting to adopt some of it and be an early user of these technologies, when it happens, you're going to wake up and say, hey, wait a minute, my company's no longer relevant. You've all heard the analogy of the buggy whip companies back in the 1800s when they had buggies with horses that made the little whips to make the horses run fast. Well, if you could see the automobile industry coming, you might say, well, let me not sell buggy whips anymore. Let me still be in the leather business, but let me maybe make leather seats or make leather steering wheels. Like, adapt. There is always a need for the activity that you're doing. There's always a need for your skills. It may not be applied to how they are. And if you get too entrenched and don't change and evolve, you're going to be closer to that broke. And you may not see that brokenness sneaking up on you. And one day it pops around the corner and catches you and surprises you. So let us know what you think. This is all food for thought. It's not meant to scare you or be derogatory or be critical or dramatic. We're trying to point out so that people who are aware see these things and take the appropriate action, so you're not surprised by the bad things that happen to everybody. Nobody has good luck all their life. Everybody has setbacks, challenges. Some things work, some things don't. You win some, you lose some. Look, some of the best batting averages in the Major League Baseball are 300, right? That means 70% of the time you're not successful at bat. That's a good average. Business can be the same thing. Sometimes in business, you're only successful at 20% of the things you do. You have to make up for the 80% that don't. If you're persistent and pay attention to those, you'll be in good shape. Think about what is deteriorating before your very eyes that you're not even seeing, that's going to cost you money someday, whether it's your staff, your employees, your family, your household. What are things that are getting worse every day? Your training, your skills, your knowledge, your licenses. What are the things that you can always do more of and add more of to stay ahead of the curve so that the broke monster doesn't come get you?